walk on. Everybody's got a road to go down. Instead of wedding, everybody's got somewhere.
Come back together.
Everybody everywhere will go rebound. Everybody's got a sidewalk to walk on. Everybody's got a road to go down. Everybody's got somewhere to get to. Everybody everywhere will go rebound. Hi. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Low Common Good. Things open up for a change on election day. My name is Dan. We're going to do a little singing for you. We're going to have some poetry and some speakers and some encouragement. It goes, everybody's got a sidewalk to walk on. Everybody's got a road to go down. Everybody's got somewhere to get to. Everybody everywhere with glory bound. Everybody's got a sidewalk to walk on. Everybody's got a road to go down. Everybody's got somewhere to get to. Everybody everywhere with glory bound. Everybody everywhere with glory bound. Everybody everywhere with glory bound.
Well, hello there, Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Now, my name is Doug Padgett. A few of us had the privilege of meeting right across the street back there in February. And I don't know if you remember, but you all said, come back to Bloomsburg, and we said, we will come back. And today is the day that we fulfilled that promise. And I got to tell you, we're back here because this country needs to fulfill its promise to all the people of this country. We need to do that on election day. We need to make sure that we're fulfilling the promise of this country for all people everywhere that we go. That's why we say everybody everywhere's got a sidewalk to walk on, and everybody everywhere's got a road to go down. Now, friends, we've been traveling in this big bus all over this big, beautiful country of ours, and we've been asking people, would you make faith, hope, and love your criteria on election day? And you know what we hear so often? We hear people say it all the time. But I'm a Christian, that means I have to vote for a Republican, and we're here to remind you that just ain't so. Now, friends, we're hearing some things that don't sit so well with our soul around this country. We know it. We hear this president speak, and I'm going to tell you that I got to be careful quoting the man. We like to run a family-friendly event, and if you turn a little bit blue, as you can see by our billboards that we put up there in the fine city of Scranton, which are listed right over there on the side. Now, we're all hearing things that make you just feel so uncomfortable, but we're here to remind you of some good news, and that is that election day is coming on November 3rd. Now, how many of you have already voted? How many of you have already got that ballot in the box? How many of you already got it? Now, we're going to tell you, I'm telling you straight up, we're here to recruit you to get out in the streets, wherever you can, and find your friends, and find your neighbors, and find people down the way, and remind them that they've got to get out and vote. And if they don't know who to vote for, and they're a person of Christian faith, here's my suggestion. You ask them to read the Sermon on the Mount on Monday, and then to vote like it on Tuesday, and I guarantee you that's going to solve the problem. Now, we are not here to convince you that Donald Trump is a problem. This man is like a self-cleaning oven. He does all the work for you. He shows that he's unqualified for the job, that he's a failed businessman, the failed president. We could spend all afternoon reminding you about how he is no good at this job, and these new levels of discord and dishonesty that come out of him day after day. We could remind you of how he dithered and denied and did nothing around COVID, and that harmed so many people in this country. We could remind you of his crassness and of his corruption and of his cruelty and how he was impeached for trying to bribe a foreign government. We could remind you of those kids in cages, and we need to. We can tell you about the soldiers with targets on their back and the president who does nothing about it. We could remind you of him saying there's good people on both sides of racism. We can remind you that he said to the Proud Boys, stand back but stand by. We can remind you of his total disregard for all the things that we hold so decent in this country. But friends, we're not here to tell you about what a problem Donald Trump is and how bad he is. We're here to remind you how good you are, and how your goodness is going to show up on election day, and that you're going to be joining all the other people that are enjoying the community of common good around this country. Now, I want to confess something, that I'm a pastor and a Christian, and as a pastor and a Christian, it's important to me to remind all of us that everybody is a beloved child of God. Nothing you need to do about it, nothing you can do about it. Every one of us, as Jesus said, just like these fine young men, they're the light of the world and the salt of the earth. And I'll tell you this, Donald Trump is a child of God. Donald Trump is the light of the world. But not every light of the world should be the President of the United States. And this man should take it on a light and get it out of the Oval Office and stop bothering the good people of this country, because it's time for a social reordering, for a racial reckoning, and for a political correction in this country. And we're here to join the good people of Bloomsburg town. The town of Bloomsburg, the only town in Pennsylvania. Everybody else is a borough, everybody else is a city, everybody else is a township, but only you special people are a town. We know it, you know it, and this town is going to show up like towns all over the country. So this is our friend Dan Dietrich. Dan's going to lead you a little bit of music today. You're going to hear from Genesis, you're going to hear from Nick, you're going to hear from Vanessa, and the whole country's going to hear from Bloomsburg on Election Day. So thanks for being with us today.
There's a world at war, all suffering, silent casualties. Oh God, grant us peace in these desperate times. Love and breathe, despite brutality. I know there will be free. I know there will be free. So let the light in, shine, let it break into the darkness. All the love there's us to see, we'll all be free. Yeah. Let the light keep it shining, let it break into the darkness. All the love there's us to see, we'll all be free. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna ask Steph and Brandon to get up here and help me out with a little part of this for us. We've never done this before, so it's a little surprise for them. Oh, play the drum, yeah. In these sleepless nights, love will hold us here. Love will hold our hands, teach us to have no fear. So we lay our feet down to wash their feet. And when we see our brothers, oh, we'll all be free. Let the light in, so let the light in, keep it shining. Let it break into the darkness. All the love there's us to see, we'll all be free. Yeah. Let the light in, keep it shining. Let it break into the darkness. All the love there's us to see, we'll all be free. Now I'm gonna stay free, and then Steph's gonna stay free, and you're all gonna stay free with Steph. All right?
Follow me.
We'll be free, 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 free. We'll all be free. Oh, we'll be free, 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 free. We'll all be free. Oh, we'll be free, 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 free. We'll all be free. Yeah, we'll be free, 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 free. We'll all be free. Yeah. So let the light keep it shining. Let it break into the darkness. All the love there's us to see, we'll all be free. Let the light in, let the light keep it shining. Let it break into the darkness. All the love there's us to see, we'll all be free. Yes, we'll all be free. Oh, we'll all be free. Yeah.
You guys rock.
And would you give a warm welcome to my friend Genesis B, everybody?
All right. Go ahead and unwrap this. We need to be free. Not locked down by this ball and chain of a microphone. How's everybody feeling today? It feels good to be here with y'all. Thank you so much for coming and hosting us and just sharing your light and love and space with us. My name is Genesis B. I'm a hip-hop artist and an activist from Biloxi, Mississippi. Mississippi. The last 5 years, my activism has been surrounding the issue of removing the Confederate emblem from the Mississippi state flag. Thank you. And I'm proud to say, as of June 30th, 2020, Mississippi retired that flag. It flew 120 years. So think about that. 120 years People have been fighting to remove that symbol of white supremacy, that symbol of neo-Confederacy. And so I'm telling you this because change is coming and it's happening right now. And sometimes it feels slow. When you're so close to the struggle, it feels really slow. But I bear witness from Mississippi that change is happening. I'm seeing it happen in my home state where people said it could never be done. And if it can happen in Mississippi, guess what? It can happen all across the nation, can it? Because Mississippi is a microcosm of our nation. Police exoneration and mass incarceration. Black and brown bodies, a commodity. Mothers separated from babies, border policy. It's like the White House is painted in the Klan's ideology, and our leadership is exploiting white poverty. Keeping us separate and divided, gay versus straight, white versus black, based off of fear and far from the facts. Yes, I hail from a state called the mighty Mississippi. It's the land of unsolved murder mystery. I'm triggered by the trauma in my own family history. You see, because my dad, he was only 5 when the Klan drive-by bust bullets into his house with 6 children inside. On the back of the truck, a Confederate flag flying high, and these are the truths that some choose to deny. See, Mississippi, like America, eats your child and mine. The white supremacist lie is a prison of your own design. You forfeited your humanity in order to deny mine. Because white supremacy is a lie. Some have accepted it. A Confederate curse you inherited. Bigotry is blinding, and your fear of the other has blocked your own blessings from your sisters and brothers. Outrage, fatigue, I'm screaming, I can't breathe. From the top, it trickles down. From my judges to police. Because the illusion of freedom is far more dangerous than any jail cell or cramped cages. Yes, Mississippi is a microcosm of my nation. Where cowards replace white sheets with fake avatars, repeating their parents' folklore, tooth fairy, Santa Claus. The history's whitewashed. Google black codes and bylaws. In the comment section, sound off, sound off. Lord, they sound off, don't they?
That's right.
They call me a nigger, a bitch, or a dyke. You call me whatever you like. I've been through worse in this fight, and the hatred in your words is proof that I'm right. Because Mississippi is a microcosm of a country that always needed me, but never wanted me. My melanin and skin is a sin sent us to build your economy? Pack the prisons, fill the quota, make us felons, never voters. Travel bans and deportation, killer cops, no resignation. Just federal indictments and mock trials, you see. My heart bleeds as that billboard reads, "Make America white again," as my favorite rapper concedes. Kanye. Making me question everything that I believe. And still, I love America, I do. Because I have hope. Some choose to jump ship, and some steer the boat. See, I know that love and humanity lives in the smile of every child, in the heart of every kid. So be brave enough to break the curse. We need you at the polls, out in droves, fighting against the bigots you oppose. Study law, run for office, make a call, write your Congress. Use your voice and choose a march. Ruth is gone, grab the torch. Read a book, write a rap. Just speak with truth and deal with facts. Freedom and justice are under attack, y'all. Alt-right affiliation of Trump's administration, Confederate infiltration, neo-Nazi showing faces. Just fueling the fear and the hatred while expanding their corporations. Do you see now how Mississippi is a microcosm of our nation? I'm Genesis B, y'all. Thank you for listening. Bless y'all. God bless y'all.
31 years, got a few friends I can trust. I've got a couple more, baby, but we don't talk that much. I've got a woman, thank God, she's the best I've ever seen. Well, she keeps me rolling like an 18-wheel machine. And I'm on a roll. Hey, America, see, I'm looking for a sign. Hey, America, just a little sign of life.
All right, Brandon, let's go.
See, I'm an Indiana boy with a heart that won't sit still. Cup is running over, but I still ain't got my fill. So won't you pray for me, Mary, that I keep my spirit right? Can you help me, Jesus, when I wanna give up this fight? 'Cause I'm on a road. Rolling on, yeah, we're on the road. Hey, America, see, I'm looking for a sign. Hey, America, just a little sign of life. Hey, America. Not by sight. We've been traveling through the mountains in the middle of the night. There's a rain coming down, but I think I see our light. Hey, America. Hey, America. Hey, America.
Hey, I'm Vanessa. I'm not famous, not super talented like my friends. I'm just a mom. I'm an artist. I'm a pastor. Been married for 25 years, serving in churches all over this country. I live in Arkansas, but Pennsylvania is my home state. This is my home state. This is where I went to Bible college. This is where I met my husband. This is where I was born. It was where I went to a little private Christian school. Where my parents sent me, they were trying to give us a better life. They did not know that that little Christian school was kind of a dark place. Yeah, didn't know that. Yeah, it was kind of a silly place with lots and lots of rules. Executive order after executive order, reaching into our lives and disrupting them. Always being measured to see how good we were, how holy we were, how long our skirt was. Trying to keep track of our morality. Us girls especially, yeah. Yeah, so it was kind of a heartbreak, a kind of betrayal when those people that brought me up, those people with all those rules for me, they threw their arms around Donald Trump and they threw women under the Access Hollywood bus. Yeah. So I'm here to talk to you today. I'm a little nervous. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm here to talk to you today about how I got out from underneath that bus and I got on this one.
Yeah! They need it!
Traveling around this country, talking to folks.
We need your voice!
Yeah. So it was a year ago. It was a year ago, August 3rd, when I had all my kids home from school. I've got 2 college kids. I've got a high schooler and I've got a little bitty one. And we went back to school shopping at Walmart, like families everywhere. And we had all the kids in the van and I held my phone up to take a picture of us. take a selfie. And when I brought that camera down to post it on Instagram, I saw a breaking news notification on my phone. And it was because there was another shooting in this country. And that shooting was in El Paso. And as the details about that shooting came out, I became more and more upset. Because first we found out that that shooter had laid out his guns in the very name of Trump to impress him, spelling out his name. And then we heard that that shooter went through the store and that shooter saved their bullets, passing over white people in the store so they could shoot brown people. You have to understand, you love all the loud, you love all the big, you love all the strong, but what about the vulnerable people?
Yes. Amen.
What about the things that are small and helpless in this country? What about the things that are soft and need protection? Like my little girl. My little girl is a Latina. I adopted her because I'm so pro-life.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was saving her life. I didn't know that she was going to save mine. That's right. That's right. So when I heard that, I was so upset about what had happened in my country. It's supposed to be a free country. It's supposed to be safe. So I got on a plane in Arkansas and I flew to El Paso so that I could see with my own eyes what had happened. And I got there and I saw that long memorial where people were still gathering to weep and to remember the people that they had lost. It goes on the length of a football field. And I went and I saw the border, I saw the wall, this ugly, rusty thing that's there in the desert, blocking up for the animals that need to migrate there. And it's keeping people out. And you know, my son goes to school in New York City, and they have Lady Liberty there. But on this border, we have this ugly, rusty wall. This is no place of welcome. And you know, the other thing I saw was the border detention center, where little children, where Homeland Security is protecting us by separating little children from their mummies and daddies. Those little children in dark, scary places. And I remember going back to my room that night and saying, God, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm just a regular person. Nobody's gonna listen to what I have to say. I'm not famous or important. What can I possibly do? And you know what God said to me? What? You haven't said anything yet.
Yeah. Amen.
You see, I know what it feels like to be a little kid in a scared place, in a dark place. That school that I went to, that good Christian school, we talk about Donald Trump being a monster. Yes, I believe that. But my school, my Christian school, had a monster too. His place was under the stairs in a little corner where nobody could see, where when little girls passed by, they were treated the way Trump treats women. Not like a person, but like a thing. Those little girls, they preyed on him. They preyed on them. They took from them without their permission, touching and grabbing them. And when the authorities, those good Christian men that led that school and cared for that school and made decisions in that school, when they heard, they gave that man a love offering and they sent him on his way. You see, for a lot of us, the last 4 years have felt like a walk by that place where the monster was. We never know who he's going to reach out and hurt. We don't know who he's going to harm. We don't feel safe. We haven't felt safe for 4 years. And I know that my story is not unique. I know that evil exists. We can all see it with our own eyes. But there's a special kind of evil when you see something happening and you don't do something. You see, back then, we needed a pastor, we needed needed a priest, we needed some kind of protector. And now, we're in a pandemic. We need a peacemaker. We need a president. And we have this piece of work. So I am asking religious voters all over this country. I am asking, please, please, please do not give this man the love offering of your vote.
Yes.
Make this country safe for little ones. Make it safe for kids. Make it safe for people that aren't safe. Make it safe for black and brown people of color.
Yes.
Make it safe for babies to be able to be born. You can't make it safe for babies by making it more unsafe for the rest of us. I am a mother. I am a spiritual mother. I'm an adopted mother. I'm a biological mother. And I am asking, vote like a mother.
I've spent the last 14 years as a pastor of worship in a white evangelical church. That's the world I grew up in. I was born into the Republican Party. It wasn't an option. I don't think I even knew a Democrat until I was like in late high school. It was like finding a unicorn. But in the years since, as I've experienced more of the world, as I've started to exit that world, yeah. Gosh, I have realized so much, and I'm still grateful for so much, because I was taught there to take the words of Jesus seriously. That things like faith, hope, and love are things that matter. Things like Matthew 25, what you do unto the least of these, you do unto Jesus. And that's why I was so confused, almost felt betrayed, that in 2016, 81% of white evangelicals voted for a man that looks nothing like Jesus. And so I wrote this song as a plea to my brothers and sisters in Christ to come back to the way of Jesus and open their eyes. This is called Hymn for the 81%.
Give it to him, Dan.
I grew up in the church, Sunday morning and evening service, knelt in tears at the foot of the rugged cross. You taught me every life is sacred, feed the hungry and clothe the naked. Learn from you the highest law is love. And I believed you when you said I should trust the words in red to guide my steps through a wicked world. I assumed you'd do the same, so imagine my dismay when I watched you lead the sheep straight to the wolves. You said to love the lost, so I'm loving you. You said to speak the truth, so I'm calling you out. Why don't you live the words that you put in my mouth? May love will come and justice roll down. They started putting kids in cages, ripping mothers from their babies. Yeah, I look to you to speak on their behalf. Oh, but all I heard was silence, or worse, you justified it. Sing glory, hallelujah, raise the flag. See, your fear had turned to hatred, but you baptized it with language torn from the pages of the good book. You weaponize religion, and you wonder why I'm leaving to find Jesus on the wrong side of your walls. You said to love the lost, so I'm loving you now. You said to speak the truth, so I'm calling you out. Why don't you live the words that you put in my mouth? Be love overcome and justice rolled down. Come home, come home. You're better than this. You taught me better than this. Come home, come home. Oh, you're better than this. You taught me better than this. Come home. Come home, oh. Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling, oh sinners, come home. You said to love the lost, that's why I'm loving you. You said to speak the truth, and that's why I'm calling you out. Why don't you live the words that you put in my mouth? May love overcome and justice roll down. May love overcome and justice roll down. May love overcome and justice roll down. May love overcome and justice roll down.
Thank you, Daniel Dietrich. Another round for Daniel, hit for the 81%. It never gets old. It always hits me in Genesis, and we shed a tear together every time. It's on YouTube, so check it out. It's got like 700,000 views, so we're trying to get that thing up to 800 plus. I'm Dan's new PR manager. In 2016, a then candidate Donald Trump was on the campaign trail in Sioux City, Iowa. One of the most conservative Christian communities in the nation. A community not unlike my own, and perhaps similar to yours. And while there, he addressed a crowd of curious and eager white evangelicals, and this is what he said. Christianity is under a tremendous siege, whether we want to talk about it or we don't want to talk about it. He then continued, Christians make up the overwhelming majority of the country, and yet we do not exert the power that we should have. Christianity will have power. He then concluded, if I am in the White House, you're going to have plenty of power. You don't need anybody else. I'm going to represent you very, very well. Remember that. In effect, and under the guise of becoming Christianity's newly appointed savior, Donald Trump wanted to cut a political deal for power with Christian voters and have them sign their name on the dotted line. And they eventually did, to the tune of 81%. 81% of white evangelical voters and 60% of white Catholic voters. But the politics of Trump, Trumpism, a species of hysterical intolerance and oppression built on demagoguery, intimidation, and a cult of personality, sold us a bill of goods that was and continues to be a false, distorted, and hijacked view of the Christian narrative for power we find in the life and teachings of Jesus. For those of us who call ourselves Christian, it is high time that we remember very, very well who we represent, Jesus, and who we want to represent us, because as a body politic and as the body of Christ, we have missed the mark, and it has been 4 years too long.
That's right.
In stark contrast to the politics of Trumpism, the politics of Jesus undermines the meaning of power at every turn. Even when lynched upon a tree, crucified, both tactics used as a form of ethnic intimidation to enforce law and order, while the oppressor literally stands back and stands by. A naked, sexually abused, brutalized, dehumanized, non-white Jesus suffocated upon a cross, whereby the words, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe," fully embodies the crucifixion experience, because with a loud cry, Jesus breathed his last. It is precisely this "I can't breathe" Jesus, who was murdered under the heavy knee of a system that said his life does not matter, wanting his fledgling group of friends, religious scoffers, and elite government officials to re-examine and reimagine where and how power from above manifests in the streets below, and in public squares, and in courthouse facilities such as this one. You see, the way Jesus died at the hands of first century Rome is as relevant and subversive for us today in 21st century America. Are you picking up and putting down those things? The way to transformational power that transcends the powers and principalities of this world, that crosses the divide and gives new life to me, to you, and to all of us, begins in recognizing critical moments such as this one that call us to go beyond our own selfish needs for violence, dominance, and exploitation, so that resurrection becomes not just something that happened long ago.
That's right.
Or something that will happen in the distant future, but is a prophetic reimagining here and now. In other words, your kingdom come, your will be done. In closing, I have chosen to say no to the politics and re-election of Donald Trump, because my yes is grounded in the politics of Jesus, where power from the bottom up carries within it all of the life-giving spirit to rise up and roll away the interference of a large and cumbersome stone. So friends, may you choose with your politics not just to go right, and may you choose not just to go left, but may you go deeper into the mind of Christ, who by the power of his word within us is able to do immeasurably more than all we could ever imagine. And may you seek faith, hope, and love for the common good, not just until November 3rd, but in everything that you do. My name is Nick Brock, friends. Peace be with you.
Nick, you always kill me. It's like going to church.
Yeah.
You guys, found out yesterday we did a personality test and that I'm a 7. And so everything I feel really big. And you guys are giving me so much hope standing here in the cold. And so thank you for bringing hope to the world. Thank you. And people who don't give hope, I just would wonder, don't they ever get tired? It's just people full of hate just seem so cranky. You guys seem so friendly. And I can't see your faces smiling, but cranky. And now I'd like to do a song about love and love everybody. And I love you. Sorry, I'm out of tune. I only tune because I care.
We appreciate it.
How we gonna build a bridge when all we do is build a wall? How can we claim we're not on the same when God made us all? And how we gonna raise our babies? Yeah, how we gonna teach them grace? We preach about love on Sundays, Mondays back to hate. So here's another song about loving each other, just another song about taking down. Take a good look at the heart of your brother, and we all laugh. We all love, and we all bleed. We don't want a better tomorrow, yeah, 'cause everybody's had enough of all of the hurt and the hatred. Yeah, we could sure use some love. All the getting there, it won't be easy. So much work to be done. Better or worse, it's all up to us. But a change has got to come. So here's another song about loving each other, just another song about digging down deep. Take a good look at the heart of your brother. We all laugh. We all laugh. We all just a little song about love. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank y'all.
Hey, she may have told you her name is Steph Mahan out of Nashville, Tennessee. And Steph, thanks. So good to be with you. Friends, we've been so excited about this. Thanks for being here. We're just about done. But we're not done with what I consider to be one of the most important parts. And this I like to call the Harvey Milk moment. Some of you might know what that means. That means I'm here to recruit you. We want you to come along with us. We want to take you on this journey with us. Now, the journey's only until next Tuesday. We've been traveling in that big bus over there since January 2nd. Pulled that baby upside the White House and said to the inhabitant, it's time to go, and the people of Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania are here to remind you of that. So when we say we want to take you with us, we've just got a short bit of time to go. But tomorrow, we're going to make our way over to Pittsburgh. So if you know anybody in Pittsburgh, let them know we're coming. And then we're going to make our way to Hershey on Halloween, because we know what's going on. And then we're going to make our way to Allentown. Then we're going to go over to Pennsylvania. And then we're going to go back outside the White House and remind the man that he can start his packing. It's time for him to start packing up and getting ready to go. So we'd love to take you with us. Now we say this everywhere we go, and sometimes it's a little tongue-in-cheek, sometimes we're having a little fun, but sometimes we mean it. Like that Nick Brock, the guy you just heard here a minute ago, gave you that nice little talk with the guy with the ZZ Top beard. He was our host in Grand Rapids, Michigan about 4 weeks ago, and we said, hey Nick, we like you so much. He said, well, we like you, I like you, so now he's riding on the bus with us. So we're taking with us. Steph is a friend of our bus driver, and she said, I see what you guys are doing, can I come along? We're like, Steph, come on along. Vanessa's son's been with us the whole time, and she's like, I see what you're up to, maybe I'll join on in. Dan, the guy that sang that song about the hymn for the 81%, he wrote that song back in January. It's been on YouTube. It's got 700,000 views. Back when it only had 25,000 views, we heard about it, looked him up, sent him an email, said, hey, we talk like you do. You want to come with us? Now he's living on the bus. Making it sound like it was an empty bus or something before we got started, but we did have a few people on it, but they rotated in and out. So we're serious. We think we're building a movement, and we want you to come along. Now, friends, step one of that movement is we got to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to be the president and vice president of the United States. But I'll tell you what, electing a new president is not going to solve every problem in this country. But the president shouldn't be the problem in this country, so we got to get Donald Trump out of the White House. And then we got to start working hard because we've all got work to do. Tuesday is not the finish line. Tuesday's the start line. That's when we start rebuilding this country, because the conditions that gave us this president that we have now, they've got to be done away with. So we got to work on changing the conditions and not just on changing the current inhabitant of the White House. So that's where we need you. Now, friends, you've given us an hour. We so appreciate it. Thanks for being here and giving an hour on a nice, beautiful night like this. We had so many other things you could be doing. But I got to tell you, I'm going to ask you for another 6 hours. Do we have another 6 hours? Not today, but an hour tomorrow, and then an hour on Friday, and an hour on Monday, or an hour on Saturday, and then an hour on Sunday, then an hour on Monday, then an hour on Tuesday. Could you give an hour every day till we get through this election? With that hour, would you call a friend? Would you make another Facebook post? Would you put another sign up in your yard? Would you send a postcard? Because I got to tell you this, it doesn't work to tell people to be quiet. We don't need to tell them to be quiet. We need to speak up, right? So would you spend an hour speaking up every day? And if you feel like you've already said too much to all your friends, let me just encourage you with this one. You haven't said enough yet. Go ahead, say a little more, send another email, make another post, call another person, do anything you can for an hour a day for the next 6 days. Go door knocking, because Wagaman needs to be in Congress, and we need a new person over in the state Senate. This is a top to bottom rearrangement that we need in this country. We need everybody in on it. Now, I'm not someone that needs to tell the Democratic Party in Bloomsburg about that. You all have been organizing here, and we're so glad to join you. So thank you for all your good work. It's what's gotten us around this country. Speaking of that, people ask us often, who pays for that bus? They yell it all the time. You know what they yell at us? They say this, does George Soros pay for that bus? George Soros doesn't pay for our bus. Now, I'd love for George Soros to pay for our bus, so if you know George Soros, please ask him if he paid for our bus. George Soros doesn't pay for our bus. You know who pays for our bus? This is a PBS moment. You know who pays for our bus? Viewers like you pay for our bus. That's who pays for our bus. But the bus is all paid for, so if you make a donation over here, we're going to turn around and we're going to turn that into action. We're going to buy water bottles, we're going to buy food, we're going to be in Philadelphia. We're going to be in Philadelphia supporting people that are in long voting lines, because sometimes the voters have to wait way too long to express their right of who they want to be the president. So that's what we're going to do with it. We're going to turn it into good action. So we're not here begging for you. We're here to give you something. So would you take home a shirt? Would you take home a button? Would you take home some hats? If you got a friend that's voting for Donald Trump, do everything you can, because friends don't let their friends vote for Donald Trump without saying something about it. So would you raise your voice? Would you ask him? Would you plead with him again? Just give him that one last chance to do the right thing. Because if you love your neighbors, you love yourself, you don't let them make this mistake. Take something home, share it with them, do whatever you can. And we're so glad to be with you. And when we come back again, because the work's not done, we'd love to have you join us. And between now and then, would you share our message with your friends? And would you join us in one last little ditty? Steph, would you come on? Well, how about, we've been talking about, all right, well, everybody who spoke, come on up here. We've been, this is our 79th event that we've done outside, and only one time do we get all of us back up here singing this little line of mine. We thought we'd do it with the good people of Bloomsburg. So if you all would come on in here and sing with us, this would really mean a lot to us, because we're coming to the end of all this. It would mean a lot, so come and join us, would you? And give us a little bit of this little line of mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let